Today we have good news and bad news. The bad news is that we may have a gas leak somewhere. But the good news is that we have a new front lip coming soon. That means we can get the car back to looking how it was before the crash. The car will be looking brand spanking new once again. We're at Luke's, obviously. I'm here because my new front lip arrived. And that's kind of being test fitted just over there. That's the old one we tried to put on, and don't worry about that. I'm very close. I just need to slightly tweak a couple of the holes that I've drilled, and then we should be able to mount it up and get a good look at this brand spanking new Miata. So if we just come over here, grab the front lip that we need to use, and fucking shing, shing. I've rotated sight. Front lip is off. Time to re-drill the holes, and then boom, front lip has been installed, and it's kind of janky. There are little gaps just here that you can't really see on camera, so it doesn't matter. This I had to kind of bootleg, and I don't know, I might have to zip tie this back and do all this. It's the same on the other side, just zip tie or something else. For my first ever body work, it could be a lot worse than it is. It definitely makes the car look a little bit lower now and a little less like a boat. Now I'm gonna stop getting challenged by Hellcats and shit when I'm on the freeway, because you know they'd always pull up next to me and, hey, race, and I was like, nah, you get smoked. So now I don't have to worry about that competition, because they're not gonna mistake me for one of their own anymore. And you'd think by the state of both of my hands that I was doing something worthwhile, but no, instead it's 3:26. I got here at about 12. I've spent the better part of 3 hours putting on a front lip. But it looks good, right, Luke?
It's very good.
Now I have to decide whether I want to leave it black or if I want to paint match it. And to be honest, I'm going to leave it black. One, because my bumper is a piece of shit, and so I'd have to paint that too if I wanted to. And then I'd have to either redo all of the scratches and the missing bits underneath, or buy a new bumper, paint that. Since it's getting painted, I'd PPF it. It seems a lot easier to just leave it black. Now that we've sorted out the front bumper, it is time to figure out what maybe is going on with my gas. So let's clean all this up and get onto that. Done. Now it's time to figure out what this gas leak could be. How do you fix a 24-year-old piece of shit from leaking gas? It said I don't have an answer for that. Let's start by ripping everything out of my interior. Completely different. Get pranked! I lied. We jacked the car up, and because the smell is on the outside, we are gonna look for our fuel lines, which is some of those. It doesn't look like they're wet from here. We expanded upon simply just taking a look. I took the wheel off, and again, it doesn't look like anything is leaking at all, let alone something gas related. I had Luke prime the fuel pump, I heard it making the noise, so it did turn on, and there's nothing. That could be really good in that I don't have to worry, and it's just because the car is, 24, 25 years old. Or that means that there's something else going wrong, and I'm just gonna have to wait until my rear quarter panel f***ing explodes. In which case, we'll tow it back to Luke's, and then we'll go from there.
Give a shit about your car. Fuck your car.
If my shit explodes, it's Luke's fault, but there's nothing I can do about it, so that's awesome news. Wheels back on, jack's out of the way. Also check, nothing under the car. And now we can lower it and get back to daily driving this hoe. We were currently kind of trying to put a kill switch in. We gave up. So instead, I'm gonna hopefully steal a fuse from Luke that will fix my fog lights, because they don't work as of the moment right now. And it's missing a fuse. So that's clearly what's the problem. Well, that fuse was not the correct answer. So I'm gonna put all this back together and then take a nap. It's day 3, technically day 4, we missed a day yesterday, and I'm back. I think I may have an idea of what the gas leak could be. The other day when I was here, and underneath the car, I saw what looked like another little evap canister thing. Turns out that's the fuel filter, and that is supposed to be changed once every year, or 30,000 miles, and I don't know when this was changed, so it's possible that it's faulty or just getting to the end of its lifespan. Even if this isn't the final fix or what the gas smell is, this is something that needs to get done anyway, because I don't know when the last time it was done. It could have been well over 12 months ago, and that's just not very safe. So it turns out I might be a little more autistic than I originally thought. The fuel filter is there, behind that piece of plastic, and I was looking at something here. I have no idea what this is. So I'm gonna replace the fuel filter anyway. Hopefully that's where the leak is coming from. It's just in front of the passenger rear wheel. If you know, leave a comment letting me know. Does an evap system relocation exist for the Miata? I genuinely don't know. Because it sits about here, a few inches back, like right behind this right here. So yeah, we're gonna do fuel filter anyway. Hopefully that's just dumb luck and that is actually what I need to replace, but that's not what I intended to replace.
A few moments later.
Well, we discovered two things. One, fuel filter is not the cause of the problem, and two, I'm gonna have to come back a different day to finish it. What the fuck? Because it's just not high enough to get under and take a proper look, and there is a tool that would kind of just make this process so much easier. So this video is going to be a lot later than I thought it was, because right now that is on the jacks, but soon we will be finished soon.
2,000 years later.
It's December 6th. It's been about 6 days. We're going back to Luke's. We made it. What I'm gonna try and do, at least right now, is I gotta take out all these little plastic tabs, lift up this, and then this will give me access to the tank, the fuel pump, and a couple of other things that could be the cause of this problem. I also learned to have a little pocket back here. Yeah. This one's got bubbles in it. Huh? Boop. I can't feel my thinking cap. Yeah. Hold on. No. With no chair, I'm gonna be able to access all this a lot easier, and I want to go give this part a proper vacuum and detail after this, so I'm just taking them out prematurely. Holy crap, a fucking fork? I do detail. This is disgusting. Roof back up, and now we can inspect the rest of this gas shit. So I didn't watch a tutorial or anything, I'm kind of just freeballing this. I think this metal plate needs to come off, so it's got a couple screwdrivers over here, and I'm gonna take those off, and hopefully that gets us to what we need to see. Well, first impression is that it definitely smells like gas. Definitely smells like gas. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to look like this. I need to go get some expert advice from Mr. Luke just over there. So, we just primed it. Love the way I'm sitting, by the way. Feel like a proper race car driver in it. Nothing seems to be leaking, and if it is, I will see it when I replay that footage, and I will shit myself. Me and Luke have come to the conclusion that it might just be an old car thing. If you think otherwise, please do let me know, because I would hate to die in a fire in this car. I haven't even sat in a C606 yet. Luke, I smell gas. It went away. Boom. Plan is to get the car in the air, give all of the inside a vacuum without the seats just to get it looking shiny and stuff. Then I can get myself under the car and I can do the fuel filter. Now we can get to detailing. So I gave the inside as best of a vacuum I could. It was mainly just to get rid of the big stuff. Now that I have done that, I can get underneath the car and attach my new fuel filter. Hopefully that goes smoothly.
One eternity later.
This is the fuel filter. This bracket was pretty annoying to put back on. That little white thing right there, and then that one right there. This just leaks and leaks and leaks, and as you can see, covered this shit. So we're about to go see how much gas I actually have left. This is now installed and ready to go. Alright, I just cleaned it up. I haven't put the little cover back on because I need to put the fuse back in, just make sure that we're starting up and check that it's not leaking. Then I can put the cover back on. Again, in my race car with no seats. Moment of truth. Oh yes! Oh yeah! Oh, we need to check for the leak. Oh, hopefully no leak.
Well, it would be coming from somewhere over here.
And I don't see it. That was one successful fuel filter install. So I'm gonna cover up the bracket again and then be done with this. Seats can go back in and we'll go from there. Boom, the seats are all back in and we did lose a huge amount of gas. That's not easy to see, but it's about halfway, which is approximately where it was before. So to break in my new fuel filter, we're gonna be pouring all of this gas back into the tank, just because, you know, that's what the factory says. It says pick up all the gas that you just used, pour it back into your fuel tank so that the fuel filter can do its like little activation period. I'm joking. I feel like that has to be said on YouTube nowadays. Oh yeah, we're also gonna light my old fuel filter on fire. Unfortunately, we will not be lighting it on fire. Alright, it's time to let this go down. So, what we gotta do is come set it up. That doesn't sound good. So we unfortunately didn't 100% fix the potential gas leak, but we did get the fuel filter in. So that's a win in my books. And yeah, that's this. That was a very sexy motorcycle noise. That is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow my socials, which are linked down in the description below. And peace out.
Que rico.